we'll have this discussion.
Discussion? What discussion?
This is a discussion. Combustion.
Coming to you from Denver, Colorado.
This is Discussion Combustion Podcast with your hosts, Kevin Batstone and Arthur Raw.
Yeah,
What's the threshold for a small town to not a small town, like population-wise? Is it 10,000, 25,000?
I grew up in a town of like 1,000. So, I mean, I graduated with 90 kids in my class. I think the whole high school had about like maybe 400 people, 400 or 500 people. It was about average 100 people per class.
That's not that many.
That's definitely
absolutely
smaller than my hometown. We had 5,000 people in my hometown.
Dude, yeah, I was sitting at the graduation ceremony like, oh my God, it's taking so long. But then I didn't realize that like some graduation ceremonies, you have like 500 kids in your class. So you're really, really sitting there like for a long time. I just didn't realize I lived in such a small town. I was 7 years old the first time I like really went into Houston that I could remember. And I was like, oh my God, these buildings are so big.
Yeah.
It's like a jungle, but of buildings. A jungle of buildings.
Yeah, it's like a little bit of a shock, you know?
Yeah.
'Cause I grew up in the woods in central New Hampshire, so like going into Boston as a kid, kind of the same feeling. I was like, whoa.
I bet Boston's huge.
Boston's pretty big. I mean, it's old. Everything there is very old in New England. I haven't spent any time in Houston. I don't know what the architecture looks like down there, but like in New England, everything is just so old. 1700s, 1800 buildings.
Absolutely. Well, that's like, when the U.S. started originating, like all on the East Coast, that you're going to see more older buildings and things like that. Houston, I would say, is more culturally diverse just because you're right there on the coast. So you're having, I mean, it's just so the food there. You have such good Mexican food, but not only that, you have really good Cajun food because you're right close to the border of Louisiana.
Yeah, NOLA.
So I was down in NOLA, like
Yeah,
we were
you
talking
mentioned
prior.
that.
And since we're talking Cajun food,
Bring that up. Love it.
I was hearing of some stories where these Cajuns be cooking squirrels.
Oh, you've never had squirrel?
No.
I've had squirrel.
You had squirrel?
Yeah, I've
I
had
had squirrel
squirrel.
legs.
Like, I've
You've
had
had
it-
squirrel?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
back home.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have not had
Kind of
squirrel.
a backwoods thing, I feel
I have
like.
not had
It
squirrel.
is. My actually growing up, my papa loved squirrel brains, like pickled squirrel brains.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah, that's
No, I
like
haven't
a
heard
thing.
of that.
You can
Okay.
get like pickled, there's so many things back home. You can get like the smokehouse down I live down highway whatever, but maybe like a few miles down the road was like Beasley's Smokehouse. Fantastic back home. Super fantastic stuff.
They serving squirrel in the smokehouse?
Pickled squirrel brains?
So they did pickled pig's feet.
I've had that.
Yeah,
I'm not impressed.
Yeah, I mean, I got it as a gag gift, and so I just gave it away.
Okay.
I didn't eat it, I didn't just sous vide it and chop it up and ate it for dinner with a side salad of ranch. No.
You just gave it away.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to eat that, but
So like here in Colorado, Rocky Mountain oysters. Have you tried them?
no, I've had oysters here, but I haven't had. I don't know. They could have been.
Are you
Rocky
Bison?
Mountain?
Do you know what Rocky Mountain oysters are?
Bison balls.
No.
They're bull testicles.
Oh, good.
Bison
They good.
balls.
I watch
So
a lot of
it's-
people
it's
cook
bull-
testicles. I'm not Googling it. It's on shows I watch.
So it's a couple different. It can be mountain goat. It
Okay.
can be bull. It can be bison. It can be a couple. But it's nuts.
Oh,
It's-
really? I always thought it was bison balls.
Yeah, that's part of it. It's kind of like how all
What's
anchovies
the most popular way to cook it? I'm
fried.
curious.
They fry it
Yeah.
up. It's fried.
you
I mean,
can't
so
go
it tastes
wrong.
like
Yeah.
everything else that's fried, and you eat it with cocktail sauce. It's very rich. It's got a very rich flavor to it. But I'll tell you what, those nuts taste pretty good. I'm just saying.
I love some nuts, like cashew,
yeah.
almond, but I've never had nuts, like testicles,
True bull
like
balls.
balls.
I was on a work trip one time, and I ordered it, and these guys were like, what the hell is this guy ordering? I'm like, come on, man, we're in Montrose, Colorado. Let's give this thing a go. He's like, why don't you just go lay off over the fence over there and suck on the bull's nuts? I'm like, no, that's raw. I want to cook.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it doesn't taste that bad. When you fry stuff, it's like, that's kind of like, it's like a cheat code
Everything's
to eating,
good when you
right?
fry it, yeah.
So
would
I
agree.
have not had just a cooked bison ball, non-fried. That's where the true test
call
is.
them
Do they
beef chips.
saute it and grill it sometimes? I imagine so.
I don't know.
I haven't had it
I don't
myself.
know. I'm not enough of a Colorado native to know, but I just wanted to try it when I came here because I
They
love
don't,
trying
they
new
don't
shit.
just serve that in Colorado. Is that just the Colorado thing?
It's kind of like Rocky Mountain oysters. I feel like
it's
is
like
it's definitely known to the Rocky Mountain range, so probably into Wyoming and Montana and places like that.
Interesting.
Right.
Interesting.
But yeah,
Absolutely.
Obscure things. Yeah. So either way, I was hearing these stories in New Orleans.
Yeah, back to New Orleans.
about how and this guy's awesome, by the way. I loved his energy. He was great. But he was talking about how he visited Colorado one time, and there's just all these squirrels running around in Colorado, like right next to you, and he's like,
red squirrels.
He's like, what you doing running around right next to me? Don't you know you get eat up?
Or rabbits.
Like this sort of stuff. And then I was walking around the French Quarter in New Orleans, and I was like, after this story, I was looking around for a squirrel population in this city, and I did not see a single squirrel in the French Quarter
at all
in 4 days being there.
Did you see it anywhere in New Orleans?
No, I didn't see a single squirrel.
That's just like if you would have walked in some people's houses, you would have seen them in the pot.
Yeah. See, and like so once I learned that, so how does squirrel take? How did your family prepare squirrel?
Well, I mean, this was like my uncle. We called him Uncle Duck.
Okay.
Uncle Duck.
Uncle Duck, yeah, yeah. So honestly, Uncle Duck would cook. He liked cooking squirrel. He liked cooking rabbit. And the only reason I remember him cooking it is because we had a garage sale when I was little, and my parents had got us bunnies. We didn't take care of the bunnies. They're like, we're getting rid of the bunnies.
Yeah.
And so my Uncle Duck comes over. He's like, I'll buy these bunnies, put them in a stew.
Okay.
Traumatized me. Like, he actually did buy the bunnies. I don't know if he put them in a stew.
Probably.
But, yeah.
I mean, I've had rabbit.
Yeah.
Rabbit's not bad.
Rabbit's really good. Like, rabbit stew is really good. It's just gamey. It's just really gamey. Like,
now, does gamey mean that, like, it's chewy?
No,
like,
it's
is it
got
a
that
flavor?
flavor.
It's a flavor.
It's like
Have you had lamb?
It's like muddy.
Yeah, lamb's a good example.
Okay.
Have you had lamb?
I have.
It's got that like almost earthy flavor. Like if you have real cow, like a cow that's slaughtered, not in a butcher shop, not King Super's cow.
Yeah.
But like a cow of a farm is going to taste very different. Like you
Right.
can taste that grass fed. It tastes a little bit earthier. I feel like.
Interesting.
Hey, have you ever had deer meat, venison?
Yep.
Yes.
Very gamey as well.
Bear. I've
so.
had bear, moose.
I've never had bear. Interesting.
The thing about bear is it always stays so red. It's just like it's hard to tell when it's cooked. So you got to tempt. You got to tempt the hell out of it because it's so red. It's tough to tell when it's cooked.
It's crazy. Honestly, if you were to like get on my YouTube, all it's gonna be is just food stuff.
That's how I am.
So, honestly, the weirdest food meat I've ever seen on a YouTube video was whale meat, and like
whale meat.
Yeah, it's black. It's like black. It's
What kind of whale? Like a sperm whale?
So this was out in like the Faroe Islands, and so just an island that was originated by people that used to do whale hunting back in the day. It's a very big population out there as far as the whales go. So it's one of those things where people are like, "Oh, you shouldn't be hunting whales," but they only hunt like one. Like the island's really small, and like there's probably like it's just like a village.
And if they use the whole animal,
they use the whole thing.
You're using the bones for stuff. You're using everything.
Exactly.
Like that's a little. You're respecting the kill.
Right. You're utilizing everything, and also they only kill like 1 or 2 a year. So it's like, But those shows, I just like shows like that. Like, what's going on in the world?
So one of my favorite type of cooking shows on YouTube would be South Korean street food cooking shows. And they're anywhere from like, 10 minutes to like an hour. But there's no commentary.
That's the best.
It's just them.
Just cooking.
Yeah. Slice and dicing, you see how the entire thing is prepped. So it's like, what do I want to watch? These hot dogs. What do I want to watch? These burgers get made.
Yeah.
And honestly, because I like to have this kind of time, like it's perfect massage TV. So you give a massage.
Who's giving you a massage?
You give.
Oh, I'm not giving them. I'm
give,
getting them. I'm sorry, you lost me.
You give or receive a massage.
I'll receive.
Well, and look, I'm giving the massages here, so that's how that's working. But it's peaceful, You got like the sizzle happening, you got the chopping happening, you got the back rub happening, and it's just this very relaxing moment of.
It's like meditation.
Well, and it's easy to get through the massage too when you're watching like this cooking happening because you're like entertained, you're like giving the massage, you're like, oh, that looks so good. Man,
honestly, I wouldn't be mad if I went, I've gotten a couple professional massages when I'm feeling fancy.
Okay.
And, so I would love for them to, instead of dim the lights, put on the salt lamp, play some soft music. I'd love to just put on, like, ASMR cooking. I'd love that. Let's just watch that together, buddy. Like
the ASMR cooking, I've gone down that rabbit hole a few times now. And it's like there's so many different people doing it. Like I love just the cooking videos. Here's how we're going to make this. Right. And then it cuts to chopping and here it is being all prepared. But now like my algorithm or whatever has been putting me these no reaction videos where these guys are eating like Carolina Reapers and all this shit and like dumping things to make it as like ridiculous as possible. And I just sit there and watch it out of pure just like I don't think I could do that.
Those are like clickbait videos. It's like, oh shit, like you got me.
Yeah.
I'm watching it.
Yep.
And it's like I didn't even skip it. I'm like 13 minutes in. You got me. Like,
I know. You know, when there's an ad in the middle and I stay the course, you know I'm hooked.
Oh, absolutely.
Because usually I bail when an ad hits. But thanks for watching our ads here on YouTube.
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, we don't know when it's actually going to drop.
It just happens.
So a little secret for YouTube, you can select when your ads hit.
Okay.
And we just select
Random.
like mid-roll somewhere.
Yeah,
somewhere
mid-roll.
mid-roll.
Okay.
So people watch it and all of a sudden an ad break will happen.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So y'all don't get to choose like what ad or anything or
No.
Okay, cool.
No.
So I see BetterHelp all the time. I'm like,
BetterHelp's
are y'all
everywhere.
trying to talk to me? Or like is this just something on everyone's or like y'all think I need a therapist?
Yeah, I remember seeing BetterHelp a lot. Like when they first became a big thing, especially during COVID when people were trying to find therapists and they couldn't sit down live action, they became really huge. And then they were advertising on like every podcast that I would listen
absolutely.
to. You know?
I don't know if y'all saw. I saw it briefly on podcasts, and then it just seemed to disappear. But it was like the bottle things, the soda. It was like water, but you attach a little. I apologize. There's
You're
like
good.
a little thing that you attach to the top of the water bottle, but it's scented. So when you drink it, you smell it, and it makes it taste like it.
Huh.
I've never seen that.
I never heard
it
about
was
that
just
one.
it happened for like 2 or 3 weeks on the podcast I was watching, and then I never saw it again. So I just wonder if it.
Interesting.
So
Yeah.
they put all their money into trying to push it, and then that was
I
it.
think that was like huge marketing, and then like it never caught on.
So I've heard about those water bottles that like have like a UV light or something in the cap, and it's supposed to like clean the water. Like the
It's a
light,
marketing technique.
the light, like removes the water through like because certain light
I should be
frequencies
so
can kill
pure at
bacteria.
this point.
Yeah, that's true.
You
I
know?
should be so pure at this point. I've done so much tanning and UV lights. I should be holy, but I don't believe it. So.
It could.
But it could. Like if you look into the science behind it, but yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
And then one thing that I would invest in would be those like survival straws.
Oh, those are good.
You know where you can like
I've
got the
seen
carbon in it?
those look
like
super
filters out everything. I think that would be
Absolutely.
useful.
Well, the amount that I do hiking and things like that, I would absolutely like. That's something that would be nice to carry.
Have you
with
ever ran out of water on a hike? Like where you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't pack enough.
Absolutely. No. Even on like I think the longest hike I've been on was like 7 or 8 hours, and that was like South Boulder Peak. And as long as you have a camelback, you should be fine. I think the worst thing that could possibly happen is if you go on a trail unprepared and it's slick with ice and you weren't expecting that, and you don't have any spikes on, and then it's like, oh no.
Yeah, you're busting your ass.
I
Fuck up your ankle.
Absolutely.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
like, you know what? You go ahead. I'm working on this little ice patch here. You go ahead.
So this reminds me of a story in Boulder. I was there with an ex, whatever. We're on the descend. It's still spring, so there's still snow out in some sections.
Right.
And like, you know, I'm in my 30s at this point, so I don't consider myself a young buck anymore. And then all of a sudden, these young bucks come sliding by on their Adidas or whatever sneakers they're wearing.
Dude, not even prepared.
No, they come. They're intentionally sliding down this hill that's covered in snow, just like, like
Absolutely
they're
crazy.
making better time than anybody. And I have zero confidence. My girl at that time, she's walking down it like we're like simple stepping. I guess I don't know what that is, but like.
Oh, I know what you mean. You're like,
Yeah. We're like trying to make it, and then she ends up slipping, busting her ass. She lands straight on her phone, so cracks the phone screen.
no.
I don't know if the phone screen saved her hip or not, but that reminds me of these young bucks. There's 3 of them, and they were all handsome young men, and they were just like. Even shirtless, like sliding down this
Full
hill. Yeah, that was epic.
These
So
Colorado ski bros,
yeah,
man.
you could do whatever you want with hiking. There's a lot of different
Right.
circumstances you could deal with.
It gets pretty wild up there, you know, for sure. But ice is like, because I wear cowboy boots all the time, and they have no grip on ice. No grip.
Right.
So I was taking my trash out. I've fallen 3 times already this year. Straight on my ass.
So you got to walk down the driveway or something?
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit of a walk out through like a parking lot and through an area that gets very icy. And so now when I look like an old lady, like scuffling her feet, you know, as I go through there now, 'cause I don't want to go down again. You know, it hurts. as
I
get
don't want to
older.
go down.
I mean, I'm seeing the grip. Those look like they got grip.
They don't have that much
Are
grip.
you talking about your other ones, or
Both.
like? Do the other ones
went down in
have
these.
that kind of grip on the bottom?
They do. It's just I have more of a
Can
heel
you
on
show
them.
your grip to 4?
To 4? Yeah, we
Yeah.
can take a look at these Justin cowboy boots.
Okay, so those actually
Not
have
the Justins.
Oh, yeah.
It's got a bit of grip on them.
Justins are good.
Gotta have grip.
You
with
know
Oh,
the
about boots?
Justins.
She's from Texas.
I mean, I do.
You never heard
but-
boots?
I didn't wear boots when I lived back home.
Oh, see.
Well, I was like, oh, everyone wears cowboy boots and cowboy hats. I'm gonna wear sneakers and like.
You're like, I don't want any part of that scene.
Yeah, I was like, as a teenager, like I want to be different.
Okay.
So my town was all cowboy boots and rodeos and all that. So I was like, I'm not that.
What kind of sneakers did you wear?
Oh God!
What's the brand?
Do you remember those like really embarrassing like off-brand skate shoes that were called Osiris's? Do you remember those?
Osiris's?
Osiris?
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 I do remember
You know what I'm
those.
talking about?
I had a pair of Osiris.
Yeah, me too.
Osiris.
Yeah, so Vans that like.
I don't know if it's Osiris or Osiris now.
Me neither,
I don't know.
honestly, because I feel like it was just.
Those were nice. What happened to that brand?
I don't know. I was curious myself. They try to do it like as a skate brand, but you already have Vans and big skate brands
And
like
DC.
that.
So now,
Yeah,
were you also a skater?
No.
You were just wearing the
You just
skater
went with the
shoes.
skater
Yeah, I was a
Okay.
poser. I was a poser.
Okay.
I was a poser.
I was actually just a poser. So.
I did the same thing though. I went through when I was like 14, I went through the goth phase.
Oh yeah.
Where it was like Jinko jeans.
Yeah.
Right, because we're talking 2003, 2002 here.
Yeah.
Because I'm old. And so it was like the ball chain necklace, the spiked, bracelets, the dark
Right.
clothes. I wanted to dye my hair black. I was like, yeah, I'm goth.
Wait, so did y'all ever like disassemble the blinds at your house and get like the bead chain?
No,
No, not with my blinds.
And like made the necklace from.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Because in
That's
your
some
house
underground.
they had the thing where like you could like adjust
Oh,
the
yeah,
blinds.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
I know what
You
you're
know,
talking about. Those
could
kind of
make a necklace
blinds.
out of
Yeah, and everyone was wearing that shit, and it was just like right there.
like the actual string.
Yeah.
Oh
The
my
little,
God.
the little beads you're talking.
Exactly, like the
You
metal.
made a necklace out of that?
Yes, out of the metal.
That's
out of
dope,
the metal
man.
beads.
I totally
Yeah.
would have dated you back in the day if I saw that.
Oh wow.
That's scary.
Oh wow!
I don't know if it's-
the bead necklace. Nice, bro. You got me. The big curtain.
This is fresh off of the Sioux Chalet Hotel blinds right here.
I just stole this from the hotel I stayed at.
Yep.
That is too
If that's
funny.
not a penny dropper, I don't
And
know
I'll
what
be
is.
like, you won't believe I stole this soap.
You
From
like
the
the
hotel
you
I
like
stayed
you like the quality of these shade drawers.
Right.
I was about to drop draws.
Oh man.
The quality of shade drawers dropping draws. I don't know. This is discussion combustion at its finest.
That certainly
really
is.
is.
It certainly is. You never know what's going to happen. But I want to get back to Texas barbecue because here's the deal. We got to talk barbecue for a couple reasons. I've had it all. I'm a big barbecue connoisseur.
Where's your favorite barbecue?
I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
Here in Denver.
Nope.
Okay.
Oh, here in Denver?
Well, I was like, obviously, it's not gonna be your favorite. in
Denver's not
Denver,
known
it's
for
not.
barbecue.
Denver's barbecue sucks.
Yeah, we're known for like green chili and bison balls and shit.
Dude,
Green
honestly,
chili's
when I
bomb.
first moved out here, I was like, what is the deal with the green chili?
It's so good. It's good, though, isn't
Every
it?
restaurant, I was like, you want a bagel with green chili? Like, no, bro, I just want a bagel with cream cheese. Like,
Do you like green chili though?
I do like it. I just don't understand the obsession with it out here.
It's
But then again,
geographical.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Though.
It's like New Mexico and Colorado kind of get
Yeah,
it in.
it's more.
Okay.
It's more New Mexico. Like that's where it originated. Hatch Valley, New Mexico. It's a lot of Hatch Valley green chili.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then Colorado did their take on it. Which is more like pork on a fork. That thick pork in there rather than just a green, smooth sauce or whatever. 'Cause,
I mean,
like there's
it's
green
like
chili
thick
sauce.
chunks of the pork whenever I've had it
Yes.
here.
And sometimes I like it, like Santiago style. You don't get the thick chunks. Other times you do. It's like it just depends. Like when we go to Las Delicias, I always get the green chili. Like I don't try
Delicious.
anything else there.
Yeah, it's
and I probably
fantastic.
should because I get stuck on shit.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. But I mean, I'm just nothing beats like back home. Like you ever had gumbo?
Oh yeah, gumbo's good.
Gumbo good. Gumbo good.
Gumbo good.
I didn't
We
even
like
put-
gumbo.
I didn't even say gumbo is good. Gumbo good.
We like gumbo.
Yes.
Gumbo just good.
Look, every single person who speaks any language understood what you were talking about right there.
Right. It's just so good.
Gumbo good. I say brisket good.
Brisket great. Oh my god. Also, I don't know if y'all have had boudin.
Oh,
Yes.
boudin. That's that New Orleans style.
Yes.
Boudin's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, so,
I don't
so
really know what
we
it
have
is.
a Cajun friend.
Yeah, Craig or
Yeah,
Soft or
yeah,
something.
we do. We got a friend that's
Crawfish
Cajun.
pappy.
Crawfish is. That was one thing that disheartened me when I moved out here. Like, so I've lived on the border of Louisiana and Texas my whole life. So crawfish is huge. I love it. Love the big tiny lobsters, the big ones, the tiny lobster ones. And so I move out here, back home. You could get some really big crawfish, $8.99 a pound. Hell yeah, I'll be out here. I'll have 5 pounds come out here, and that includes sausage and corn, all
the
that
whole
good
fixings,
stuff.
yeah.
And that doesn't include into the poundage. That's just the crawfish poundage.
Okay.
I moved out here. I was like, $25 a pound.
Yeah.
what? Like, I haven't had crawfish out here because it's just like, I can't pay that much.
Well, and apparently it was illegal for a while.
Because I eat 5 pounds at a time.
Yeah.
That's a good amount of crawfish. But the thing is,
when you get all the shell weight too.
I was gonna say the shell weight because
you're just getting those tiny
that little bit of meat and then suck the head. Are you a head sucker?
Sometimes it depends on how many beers I've had. Like, I want to like suck the head. So.
Yeah.
I think we could all relate to that.
Yeah.
How many beers if you're sucking head or not? What I'm going to tell you is this.
You know, honestly, if you're hydrated, I feel like the main thing is because they cook with a lot of salt, right?
Yeah.
A lot of seasoning.
There's a lot of Cajun seasoning. A lot of Creole.
So
lemon juice.
I've had the thing where they pour it all over, you know, and all over the newspaper. Yeah. And you go in there, and it's a lot of work getting the crawfish out of here.
You're talking like at a restaurant?
Well, no, in like a backyard. There's a whole technique to it. So like, sure, it sounds sexual, sucking the head out of the whatever, but like that's how you have to do it. Like you have to like pinch it and like do it, and like there's these different flavors depending if you're like sucking the body out of the shell or like sucking the brains out. Like it's different.
Yeah.
No, it's absolutely different. And then if you ever, you know, for people that are at home, if you want to do a crawfish boil. Also on the side, after you do the crawfish, do some mushrooms.
Yes.
Do some, and hear me out, artichoke.
I like it.
Pineapple.
I haven't heard that.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
So I went to an Asian crawfish boil, and it was like Asian Cajun fusion. Love that. Like that's actually a big
Asian
thing
Cajun.
back home. Yeah, Asian Cajun.
Wow, that's catchy.
Have you heard
Asian Cajun?
It's
that
so
is catchy.
good. That's actually some of my favorite crawfish is like Asian styled like crawfish.
Interesting.
It's more saucy and garlicky. There was a place back home called Sweet Basil. Absolutely the best crawfish I've ever had in my life. But they have you know, in some parts of Asia they have like the way the atmosphere is, the just humidity and stuff, they can do crawfish, and so it's like a big thing over there too, actually, which was surprising for me to find out because
it's like sweet and spicy.
Yeah, it's so good.
Sweet and spicy. That's a good flavor on the palate. And I was reading because we did it on our sister show Happy Friday. We were talking about how Colorado had banned crawfish boils for a long time.
I didn't know this.
But the reason for it was kind of like the CDC bans, you know, bringing in produce and things of that nature from other countries. Mm-hmm. They were basically saying, hey, we don't want crawfish coming in from Louisiana and bringing bringing diseases or things of that nature. Because I'm not really sure if there's crawfish in the Colorado River. I don't know. I'm not sure if they exist there. I don't think it's the right atmosphere.
Too cold.
It's too cold, right?
I think they'd die in the winter.
They probably got some things in there that you could cook up. But the other thing I heard is this year is tough on the crawfish farmers.
Really?
And Louisiana is having there's a high demand for it, and because of the drought last year in Louisiana, it was so hot, so dry that there's a huge constraint on crawfish. So the price, even down where you can get them, is going to be a big price increase this year.
Interesting.
And that's wild. Too bad I'm not 6 years old anymore. I used to take a stick and I lived in the country where crawfish grew in my ditch in my front yard.
Okay.
And so I would take a stick and tie a string around it, me and my sisters, and we tied like weenies, like weenies, like hot dog weenies.
Yeah.
And we tie that to the really a little tiny piece to the bottom of the string. And every now and then we get a little, it wouldn't be sizable crawfish, but they'd be little crawfish that were in the holes like this big.
Okay.
Do y'all know what crawfish holes are?
No.
Oh my God, they'll litter your yard in Southeast Texas.
Really?
Have you seen crawfish holes?
They're like little assholes that are on the
little assholes.
Really?
Okay.
How deep are they?
Yeah, I can't believe my whole
actually-
sister's yard was full of crawfish holes.
Crawfish holes.
That's what you get.
Yeah, they were
So you just reach in and pull them out?
No, it's just
they mature.
it's just basically if you have kind of a wetter land, basically these crawfish bury into the dirt, the mud, and what ends up happening is it'll end up building a little mound of dirt that comes up about this high.
Okay.
And it's just a little hole,
Yeah.
And then so you'll see little mounds of dirt throughout your grass, everywhere. It's annoying.
Yeah.
It's actually a pest thing.
Does it
I
look
don't want
like-
crawfish holes in my yard.
Does it look like when a lawn has been aerated, when they put the holes in there for aeration?
Oh no,
Or
it
is
sticks up. It comes up out of the ground
It's raised.
at least some of them are this tall. I guess it depends on
An
how
inflamed-
muscular
an
that
inflamed
crawfish
sphincter.
was.
An inflamed sphincter.
Dude, yeah. Have you
Yes.
seen the Dune Part 2 popcorn buckets?
I don't know what
It's
that
a
is.
butthole.
But
it's a butthole, dude.
Hey,
Is it really?
look,
It looks
we
just
gotta
like a
follow
butthole.
nature's course here. There's nothing wrong with the chocolate starfish. There's nothing wrong with that.
And the hot dog flavored water.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm just saying though, those little if y'all Google that popcorn bucket, I was
What is that?
I like popcorn, but I don't want to put my hand in a butthole to get wet. It's have y'all watched Dune at all? I love
I don't know.
fantasy books.
I saw the first part one of the new rendition.
Yeah.
And it was good.
It was good.
It was good.
So
if you read the book, follows along with the book pretty well. But yeah, basically this this popcorn bucket is based off the worms in the movie, which are these giant circular worms with like teeth that go inward. So they made the popcorn bucket after that. So you stick your hand into this like sphincter looking popcorn bucket. It's really funny looking, but really excited. I'm going to see that next week.
I'm only going to eat out of that bucket if it's extra butter.
Oh, absolutely.
You gotta have the lube in there for sure. You don't want it too dry.
No.
Absolutely.
Dry popcorn. I mean, you can put a dry seasoning on it, but I like the butter as well.
So something got me about the kettle corn. So I'm like stuck on the kettle corn.
Isn't that caramel or no? Or is that?
No, I
It's
feel
just
like
sweet, I think.
What makes it? Is it just sugar?
I don't know what makes it sweet, but some got me on the kettle corn.
The kettle.
And you put a little bit of salt on top of it. You got that sweet, salty hit. And if you're and you've lost weight in the past, I've lost weight too, and you got to do these little things, these little life hacks. And popcorn is actually like a really a healthier snack.
So much better than potato
healthier.
chips.
Until they get stuck in your teeth and you're digging them out.
I feel that. I ate a lot of popcorn out of high school. Well, it's just one of the reasons I moved to Colorado is I do like to smoke. Smoke THC. It relaxes me. It's like a lot better than just drinking throughout the day. If you just or at the end of the day, you just have a little smoke. You're fine the next morning. But one of the that's one of the reasons I moved out here. And so I actually forgot where that was going.
Popcorn.
Okay, yeah, we were talking about popcorn.
No, but so you've been making some good popcorn out here.
No,
is that where you're going with it?
No, I
cheddar
forgot
popcorn.
Where I was going. I forgot where I was going. I'm so sorry.
Have you seen?
You're good.
Going back to the videos, the cooking videos. These guys doing like Mountain Dew popcorn, where they'll put like a bottle. Yeah, they'll put like a mountain of bottle dew.
A mountain of bottle dew.
Yeah, they'll put
bottle of dew.
Yeah, a bottle of dew. They'll put that right there in the middle of the pan and let it like kind of boil over onto the kernels. And so when the popcorn pops, it's soaking up that Mountain Dew
popcorn.
I'm telling you guys, if you type that in.
You could cook popcorn with any soda pop.
Well, I don't know about that.
I want Dr. Pepper popcorn now.
See, it could be a thing. It could be a thing. I haven't tried it. I think it could be a little bit dangerous. That's sticky. It's a lot of sugar. And when you boil that shit, it's like.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know about that one.
I don't know if I'd want to try it though. I like just traditional popcorn.
Yeah,
well,
so
you
like
Mountain
butter
Dew
salted
cakes and stuff. I don't know if y'all seen that at the grocery store.
I don't
they
like
have
the
like
sweets.
7-Up cakes. Like they infuse the cake sponge with soda.
Huh.
I'm like,
I don't know about all that.
See, anything that has high fructose corn syrup as the first ingredient, I feel is going to make me like just a weak individual. Like it's gonna ruin my body. And so like natural sugar, like if it's like sugarcane sugar, like I'm all about that.
Yeah.
But if it's like, added sugar or high fructose corn syrup, I'm like, get fucked because you're trying to get me cancer. Like you're trying to give me cancer.
You said high fructose corn syrup, and it reminded me what I was talking about earlier. I was talking about losing weight, out of high school. Yes. And yeah, I got into popcorn, but one of the reasons I moved to Colorado is the reason I lost weight is out of high school. My parents drilled it into me. Weed is so bad. And then I turned 19, and I smoked for the first time, and I was like, I can't even tell you the epiphany I had where I was like, y'all lied to me.
Yeah.
Y'all lied to me. This is not bad. This is natural and relaxing. It's so nice. And so I actually loved weed so much when I first started smoking it that I would rather buy weed than I had moved out of my parents' house, and I'd honestly rather buy weed than get groceries because
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So the munchies weren't kicking in?
No, well I also did a lot of painting, so usually, I would smoke and paint.
So you get creative on.
Yeah, I would just get creative.
Okay, that's cool. Because usually people are like, oh, I smoke weed and then I eat everything in the pantry.
Right.
But you're like, I smoke weed and then I use every drop of paint on the
house. Yeah. Or if I did eat, if I get the munchies, it'd be like, when I first started smoking, I woke up one morning and I was like, oh man, I'm still buying Lunchables for my fridge. I'm only 20. I love Lunchables still. But
I'll still eat some Lunchables.
Yeah. Well, I woke up and I had 6 Lunchables in my fridge, and I opened each one of them, but just on the corner so I could get the candies.
Okay.
And so all my Lunchables were open, but just all the candies were missing because I
Okay.
just ate all the candies.
Wasn't it like just like an Oreo? Like one Oreo was like
It was Crunch Bars this time.
Oh, Crunch
Like a
Bars.
little tiny Crunch Bar, fun size.
Oh, the fun size.
See, that always confused me because fun size in my mind was like, I can't finish this. It's so fun. It's so much fun that I can't even finish it.
Right.
That's
know?
a good point. Yeah. Yeah. 'Cause
And they got this tiny. They got
bite
this tiny
size.
thing.
It should be bite size, not fun size.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And then they got like the family pack, and I'm like, honestly, that's just like the value pack.
That's
Can we call that the value pack? But what you're talking about, the medicinal use of God's plant. Our friend Bob Marley.
Marijuana.
Okay, let's all dance with Bob Marley.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
has inspired you to do some paintings, and you brought some of your artwork with you today.
Yeah, I did. Like, shyly, I did.
Well, we're excited.
And also, Denver's, like, I didn't realize the art scene in Denver's is
pretty big.
so big. I thought Houston was pretty big, but then when I came out here, they have the first Friday art walks on the Santa Fe Art District. And whenever I was going out there, I was just walking to all the galleries and I'm like trying to get an idea of like how to put, if you move here and you're into this art, how to put yourself out there and kind of
Okay.
get into that scene. And it was pretty interesting. A lot of the places are kind of like co-op, like you volunteer a certain amount of hours there, and then you show up at the end of the month and offer up, some of your works, and then they decide, oh yeah, we would love to have some of your prints here. And so that's just something I'm looking into, like,
Well, and
especially
you've
moving-
sold some of your artwork in the past as well.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Well, it's mostly to like friends and family member, and then I bartended for like 6 years, so I just have a lot of people that I've met throughout the years that have come to the bar because the bar that I bartended at was next to the highway and next to the interstate and right next to a bunch of hotels, kind of where a bunch of people would come, business people, so a lot of people from different states. And so I was able to like sell a lot of good stuff to people that like food because I do a
Okay.
lot of food work.
I mean,
so.
everybody loves some
Who
food.
doesn't love
Maybe
La
that's where the
Comida?
munchies
come on.
came in. I'll smoke and then I paint food instead of
Oh,
eat
that's
it.
that.
Oh.
That's that. Yeah, energy
Okay.
has to go somewhere.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, I
Has to
am
go somewhere.
still hungry. I'm still thinking of the food.
You're just hating it. I like
Okay,
that though.
that
Yes.
makes sense.
Still thinking of the food.
That makes sense. So, how about you share some of the art?
Yeah, I
Do
didn't.
you want to open this up?
Yeah, we can open it up.
Take
Okay.
a look.
Well, I know sushi. I didn't know sushi was so big out here, especially when I used to live next to the coast. So, yeah, like I love to do sushi over here. So we can hold
So
it.
Yeah.
and you can see the camera right here, like what it can see.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, there we
Yeah.
go.
Yee.
Look at that.
Okay.
So that's just like a lone roll, and then we have this is Sweet Ginger, really local Denver sushi shop,
Okay.
and that was their plate that they brought out.
that looks like a photo on camera.
It does.
I was so happy with it.
Yeah, that looks like a photo on camera. That one's super good.
How long did that
Absolutely.
take to paint, or whatever goes into it?
So usually I don't paint on the weekends because I have a few drinks and it'll get real messy.
Oh,
I like
yeah.
paint and drink, but I think this took about 4 or 5 days.
4 or 5 days. Okay.
It's the shadow work on that.
It looks
that
tremendous.
really.
I
That's what
think-
sells. Can you hold it up a little bit more for the?
Oh,
There
yeah.
you go. Yes.
Yeah, let's get a good look at that.
It's the shadow work on that one that really sells it.
Right, yeah. If there's anyone out in Denver that loves to do art, like, love to meet up.
We got a
But
little
yeah.
ramen going on.
Yeah, ramen.
Oh, yeah.
That one's more alternative. She's eating a burger.
I like that though.
I like that.
And
Yeah,
that's
it's just
natural.
Like, well, the thing that I like about it is like sometimes, losing weight and things like that,
Yeah.
you really count calories once you start like really focusing in on that. And so
Mm-hmm.
what I was kind of trying to convey there is just like she's eating a burger and she's really thinking about it too hard because it's reflecting in the mirror.
And it's in the mirror. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so
I
that's
see
why
that.
it's just yeah.
And then
reflecting in
is
the
that an
mirror.
aloe vera in there?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I like it. I like it.
So I like that one. Natural. It's like a natural look.
Right.
And honestly,
Right.
like everyone should know that we all feel imperfect when we look at ourselves.
Absolutely.
And like from an outsider looking in, like no one judges that hard.
Right.
And so
It's true.
So there's
so
there's
true.
like there's that extra meaning to art, and I think that's beautiful. I
Right,
think it's beautiful.
absolutely. Like, I agree with you wholly there. It's so hard to, like, look yourself in the mirror. I think body dysmorphia, like,
Mm-hmm.
image, I think that's actually kind of innately in everyone just a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
I just think everyone kind of secretly is always judging themselves.
For sure.
But
And
that's how you grow,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of learn, a little bit more about yourself from
Yeah,
doing
absolutely.
that. So.
As we get older, you
Yeah.
kind of figure out, okay, Am I going to get upset about this? Am I going to overthink that?
Right,
And then you got the
right.
social media and all the things and all the pressures of how you should look, what people, and so there's just a lot of things that I think that have come into play in the last 15 years that have really brought that to the forefront.
Well, especially with social media being so big, like I didn't, my Instagram, I used to have like a good bit of followers because I would bartend, and then unfortunately, I tried to log into my Instagram one day, and it just wouldn't let me log in, and I was like, what's going on?
Did you get banned?
Well, I got on my other Instagram, which was like an art Instagram I tried to do for like 4 or 5 days, and then I just gave up on it. But I got on it because I was like, why can't I log into the other one? But someone had hacked it, and it was Bitcoin this, Bitcoin that, and I couldn't recover it. So that was really unfortunate because I met a lot of people throughout my time of, that was about being from 18 to like 25, 26. So it was just like a lot of people that I had met throughout the years that I was like, that sucks. But hackers will get you.
Oh, yeah, they're everywhere. You see it happen all the time. Like I see
It's
a lot of
annoying.
it in the meta world. It seems
annoying.
really, really bad. I don't know if it's their security walls or whatever, but everyone's got like a friend request from the same person you're already friends with, and they're like, oh, don't accept that because it's not me.
It's always your grandpa.
It's something like
Grandpa,
that.
I'm already friends with you. Who is this?
I try to make friends with those people. I'm like, what's really going on? Even though I know that there's like alternative motives behind that friend request, and I try to do my best to make them feel like they got one on the hook,
Right.
And like to lead them on to the point of frustration to where
Yeah.
they quit their
Yes.
pursuit. And like there's something super
That's entertaining.
satisfying. It's just
Oh, yeah.
satisfying when you get a spammer or bot spammer, whatever,
Have fun with it.
to like quit the pursuit on you.
Yeah, it's great.
You're all like, what? You're not really a salesman. Like, where's your grit? Like, you don't really want to earn this scam?
That's my favorite
You don't want to
thing.
earn this scam?
That's so funny.
I do that all the time. Though, when they call me on the phone, I mean, most everything's AI and
Right.
voice automated now. Here's your car's extended warranty. But if I get someone that's trying to sell me something, I'm like, well, why is that? Why is that? Well, can we negotiate price? Like, what are we doing here? And they're like, and then they just hang up.
Right.
That's how you
right.
know you won.
Yeah, absolutely. I usually just like in those calls, but then they'll call you back like immediately, so then I have to block the number.
Oh yeah, and you get the spam likely, or it's like, what is it? What does it say? Spam likely or potential spam, whatever it
Potential
is.
spam,
Yeah,
yeah. Is what it, yeah, I usually
I don't
says,
answer
yeah.
those calls.
Yeah, absolutely.
I typically don't answer. Like if a number comes through, if it's like 303, it's like it's probably a work call or something. But if it's important, I let it go to voicemail. I don't answer
Yeah.
every call that I don't know. But to be fair, I'm terrible at putting in. Like if I get someone's contact info, I'll put the number in, and then I don't know who it is. I'm like, who is this?
Like, you don't save the contact.
I don't save the name. So like
Yeah.
the number will go in my phone. I'm like, who is
I
this
do
again?
that, too.
And then I'll get a text like, hey, this. Are we still on for whatever? And it's like, that's on me though.
You're
That's
like,
just-
who is this?
That's just poor
Yeah.
organizational skills by me. That's something I'm gonna get better at, I think.
Right.
You know, when you meet somebody, and you already know what I'm going to say, is you put it in your phone, you put their first name, met at whatever location
Right.
you met at, and then you're going to remember who this person
I've been
is.
trying to get better at doing that. But,
Yeah.
there's so many numbers that come your way. And then people reaching out like, hey, Kev, what's up? I'm like, I don't know who this is. New phone, who dis?
Yeah, it's always a good excuse.
No, I feel
That is a good excuse.
Yep.
No, but I do like the artwork. So are you in a position to where if people were to like send requests your way, that you would have the like
Time to do it?
creative like audacity to like make it happen?
Have
Have you ever done a request?
Yeah, I've done requests, but it's mostly for people that are friends and family. I usually just like to paint on my own and what I'm feeling. I'm honestly, and I hate this quality about myself, is that I wish I could take on more requests, but if I don't want to paint it and it's not something I want, it's really hard for me to put that focus into
Get
it.
excited about it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
get excited about it and things like that. The only time I've ever been able to do anything like that was when it was like a marketing thing. And they were like, oh, can you do a logo or a design and like, or a billboard or something like that. And that's the only time I can do it because like,
So what were a couple things that you were like, I don't want to paint that?
well, I mean, it's just like usually people will be like, oh my God, can you design my tattoo for me? And
Okay,
like, And I'm like, no.
You're like,
I'm like, no,
I'm
no.
You know what? The power of no is good.
Okay, it
it's
is
good
good.
to say no to
Oh,
things.
God.
it is
I'm
good to
so-
say no to things.
It is.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree.
And like a lot, I like when I first started doing art, I would do black and white sketches of people, and so people were like, oh, can you draw my grandma and grandpa or this and stuff like
Okay,
that. And I did that when I first graduated, but then I got to a point where I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And then I'm an insurance adjuster, so 8 months out of the year, I'm working 7/12s. And so it's like
7/12s, huh? Good Lord.
Yeah, usually
Wait,
first.
so 7 days a week?
12-hour days.
12 hours a day?
That's brutal.
Yeah, but it's work
For
work
how many
from home.
months?
Work from home though. So.
But how many months?
So it's all based. So I'm an independent insurance adjuster. So it's all based off of storm wise.
Okay.
I usually do hailstorms and flood storms, and so hail season is usually
May, June,
March
July.
through August. Like early March is if you get. Unfortunate for other people, but if I'm lucky, it'll start off early in March, and but yeah, it'll just basically last until the last hailstorm or last hurricane, whenever that happens, and then.
So that's good
off.
for you for business-wise. Like, are you? I don't want to say rooting for natural disasters, but that helps you.
No, absolutely
It ensures job security, right? If there's a major
is,
hailstorm,
yeah.
it's inevitable. It's going to happen.
Exactly,
Yeah.
it's something it's a shoe-in. Like it's a security. It's going to happen every year.
You
There's gonna be
can't stop
storms
the
every
weather.
year. Yeah.
Can't stop.
So are you like more of a weather nerd now? Like since
I'm
you got into
following
that?
Facebook groups that are like the tropics. I'm like, what's happening? I gotta see what's happening.
Weather's
So
fun.
it's nationwide. You
Yeah,
sell
I work
nationwide.
nationwide. Yeah.
Okay.
Guys, y'all care if I use the restroom?
No, go ahead.
I'm
Go
sorry.
for it.
Go ahead.
We'll trade off. When you get back, I'll go.
Oh, you're gonna do it too.
Not right now.
Okay.
No,
I can monologue it.
We only rotate one at a time. Unless Ruben wants to jump in real quick.
Ruben is in here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jump in.
Ruben's been on the podcast before.
Sorry, I've been interrupting.
You haven't been.
Here's an
Hey,
impromptu.
look, it's Ruben again. What's up, brother? Man, good to see you.
Hey guys.
It's good to see you. We've had a little side, dialect going on, which is good.
I've had a lot to say, but I've just been over there.
You've been doing great.
That's
great.
like what the viewer feels when they're at home. They want to interject and say things. That's what we try to capture here at Discussion
But
Combustion.
I've been interjecting over there. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
It won't get picked up on the mics. I can hear it though, so that's good. It gives me ideas.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's fun having people in studio. It brings a different energy, especially for a guest, because when you come in here solo, you got cameras, you got lights. It could be a bit intimidating. You got mics in your face, but then when you have a friend that's with you, it gives you that extra confidence, and you are that friend today.
I am that friend.
Yeah. A little different experience sitting on the sidelines, but hey, you've been in the hot seat, so how's it feel to be back?
I feel great, actually. I feel great. I went on a hike today, guys, and I went shopping. I actually got this necklace.
Oh yeah, let's show that off.
So this evil eye.
You can take my seat. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Oh yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. What is
And
the?
then we came here.
Not the rube.
Here, pull that mic in over there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just pull it in. You're actually the first person on Discussion Combustion ever to sit in Kevin's seat.
Absolutely, it's so warm, man. He's
Yeah.
keeping
Yeah.
it comfy.
And
over here.
we've been in like 4 different studios.
Okay, really?
Yeah,
This is the
this-
last one that you've gotten into.
Yeah, this is the most current, and that's the first time that this has ever happened.
I can pretend to be
First time,
close.
wow.
Yeah, this is the first time I've been on Discussion Combustion and been with 2 guests at once solo.
So let's ask you some questions.
Okay, what do you got? What do you got?
So I
What do
know
you got?
I said
How
that
long
I
you
saw.
live in Denver? That's what I know.
I'm from Colorado.
Oh, okay.
It's tatted. I got it tatted, the Colorado flag.
Okay.
I got
Are you
it
gonna
tatted.
get color in there?
No, I like just the lines. I like the
nice,
lines.
nice.
Next question. Was that girl in the elevator your girlfriend?
Which I don't know
Come on, you
when.
know it's-
What time frame are we looking at?
A month ago.
A month ago?
In the elevator.
Okay, then yes, that's my girl. That's my girl. I've been with her for 4 or 5 months now.
Congratulations.
And
I told you
I
it
didn't
wasn't his sister.
Okay, I was like, Savannah,
That's not
no,
his
that can't be his girlfriend.
No,
that
and-
has to be his sister.
she's from Venezuela, and so much fun. I've been learning Espanol, and it's been a lot of fun learning the language. And yeah, that's my girl now. And I haven't called a girl my girl in a while.
Isn't it nice?
Wow.
Though? It's almost like I remember those days when it was 5 years ago when I still called the first time I called him babe. I was like, babe.
Uh-huh.
Like, okay, I can call you babe. Okay. It's just like warm fuzzy feelings in the beginning, like.
It is fun, but here's the thing: is I don't feel like the honeymoon stage ever has to end.
Yeah.
Like, why does it have to end? Why is there's this misconception that the honeymoon stage has to end?
Well, it usually
Delusion.
ends
It's
when it's
delusion.
like, I've
You gotta
asked you
come
to
back to
do.
reality.
Well, it usually ends when it's like, I've asked you
just
to
kidding.
do the dishes like 3 times. Like can you take out the trash? That's when it starts ending. Like, can you take out the trash? Can you do the dishes? Like,
Yeah, see, everyone's
just
just
like
we all need to just like stay in our lane here. You know, as far as in a relationship, and like where in the beginning of a relationship, where you build the foundation,
right.
that is where
It should lay.
you need to stay.
Wow.
That's how I feel.
Wow. I
Yeah.
don't
Right.
feel like that.
I just, the only thing that I counter with that is just that we're young. Well, we're still young and we're growing. And so you're constantly different people in different stages of your life. And so it's really hard to stay at that same foundation when you're constantly growing as a person.
Absolutely.
That is true.
So
Savannah,
it's just like,
great point. And you should be able to express yourself, even if that means you're like pouring over your lane.
you know.
Yes.
Healthy.
So this was fun. So everybody's back in here now. So we
Yeah,
got a
let's get
seat
back to
swap
the
again.
seats.
All right, guys.
We got a seat swap
I
again.
never got to have this experience.
Do you want? No, but I do agree, and I'm gonna keep on the point that Ruben was just making, is that it's true. Like, just because you're in a relationship and where you started off in a relationship, it's not gonna stay there.
Yeah.
And people are gonna continue to grow, and you need to allow people to grow and have that freedom to be your own individual within a relationship in order for it to be healthy.
And not only that, you just shouldn't be afraid to, express yourself, even if it doesn't match y'all's.
And that will change. So in case the mic's not picking up, you shouldn't be afraid to express yourself, even though if it changes,
Right.
Yeah.
and like
You just
during
gotta
the
respect
relationship.
someone's growth. I mean, so I've had a friend recently that kind of, as adults, we have friends that we see that kind of go through these rocky paths and they're kind of going up and down. I had a friend that was kind of in like the lower parts of their life, and at that point, it's like I can offer you my support, but I have to distance myself from you. So then eventually, once that person started realizing, like, oh my gosh, like I'm kind of making bad decisions and not really progressing in my life. And so when they come back around, I'm still here for you. And it's just, there's a lot of people out there that will just cut those people off. And they're like, oh, you're doing, I don't want nothing to do with you. I don't care if you get better. And so when I think about that, when I was 20 and 21, if my best friends, I go down, I do the same thing. I think it's a normal human thing to do. At one point when I was 21, 20, and I was going out a lot, some of my friends didn't cut me off. They distanced from me, but they let me know that, oh, we'll be there whenever you come, whenever you realize, hey, you're fucking up.
Yeah.
And so if I cut off everyone in my life whenever they get to a low point, I wouldn't have any friends.
That's true.
Yep.
And so it's just the same way that if everyone that I was friends with when I got to a low point cut me out of their lives forever, I wouldn't have any friends. And so you just have to realize, respect people's growth when it comes to that up and down, especially in a relationship, because that's your other half. So you got to respect that growth. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think, like we touched on, a little bit of freedom it helps in there too. Giving people space to say what they need to say, do what they need to do, and not be, smothering, over pursuing, stuff like
Right.
that, because all that's really going to do is push people away, I feel like.
Oh,
Like you said, I mean, friends in low places, as Garth Brooks would say. It's always good, I know when I'm having a bad day, I can call Art, or somebody's going to pick up and be there for me. And that's a great
Right.
thing. Family and friends and relationships, those make us, I think that's worth more than money, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely. Especially moving out here, I realized that, I realized that,
Yeah.
working from home, I was so worried. I'm not going to make any friends. I'm on my balcony, hey, other guy on his balcony, hey, how's your coffee?
Yeah.
And he's like, weirdo, going back inside.
Well, I mean, you worked as a bartender for 6 years, you said, right?
Oh, yeah.
So living that extrovert lifestyle, constantly having that social interaction, when you take that away, I mean, that's during the COVID deal, when we had to shut down the podcast, I was like, what are we going to do?
Right.
A lot of people lost that social interaction, and then that's when, the Google Meets and the, FaceTime and all that stuff became really
team
popular.
meetings
And it's
and
like,
that.
it's a great tool, but I just feel like it's really driven a wall in between social interaction now. Like what we're all
absolutely.
doing in this room right now is tremendous, and having real conversations. No one's looking at their phones. It's just terrific, and I feel like I want to. as podcasters, I want to try to preserve that as much as we can.
Oh,
and
yeah,
capture
yeah.
that real experience and real conversation.
I miss those, back when I used to bartend, which is like three or so years ago. I missed the genuine conversations I'd have at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, I'd be like, you go to the back and you're like drinking a soda and you're like, oh, I want to go home. But then you walk back out and you're like, hey, what's up, guys? Like, I do actually miss those days of having that genuine interaction. And it was so weird because I was still bartending when COVID happened and it shut down the bars that I worked at. And then when it opened back up, people didn't act the same. Like, people didn't act the same when they started coming back out from COVID. It was just like people almost forgot how to act in public, or they were just so excited to be back out and drinking and with friends in public. And, like, it just... Honestly, it was so chaotic.
So it was ramped up.
It was so ramped up.
After
like
COVID.
Whenever the bars started like fully opening. Now, granted, in Texas, it was so different than compared to here. People in Texas were fighting not to wear the masks.
Right.
Like they were just, this is my own right. I'm not wearing this mask.
And that was so stupid. I'll just go ahead and say this right here. I don't care if it gets demonetized or not, but that was some fear-mongering bullshit.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
We could definitely go down a rabbit hole there. We all know where I
we've
stand.
done that. We've done that before.
I mean, especially I've done it in Texas so many times, nights around the fire where we were talking about it, like, absolutely. So.
Yeah, I've said enough on that topic.
Yeah.
People know where
it's
I stand.
2024 now.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it's like still a thing. It's unreal.
Yeah.
But there's still in masks places.
Yeah. And I don't have a problem with people wearing masks. That's their choice.
Yeah.
I am a huge subscriber to My Body, My Choice.
Yeah.
Women's rights, vaccinations, all that shit. If you want to get it, get it. If you don't mandate anything. I'm not a fan of banning things, and I'm not a fan of mandating things.
That's the one thing in Texas when they did the abortion laws is like it's just also one of the reasons I was like I just want to move out of Texas. Like I just don't like the rights they're taking away from certain individuals.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Texas
has some weird law, and they just made. So here's a question for you: prostitution. Okay, they made that a felony in Texas.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that.
So the very first podcast we ever did, 248 episodes ago, I took a stance that I believe prostitution should be legal. It's legal in Las Vegas. It's a service. You're paying.
They're making money for their families.
Correct.
Like they're not. It's not. Yeah. If both people are consenting, what?
You're paying for a service.
Yeah.
A haircut, a massage,
right.
Whatever the case may be, right? It's no different in my opinion, and I just don't see why it should be a felony charge when, we could go out to the bar, get drunk, find someone, do it for free. But if I offer them a donation, all of a sudden I'm a felon.
Well, I don't understand I usually when I feel like a law is in place is because there's consequences that affect the general public. In these cases, I don't understand, prostitution, like you have two consenting parties. The only consequences that would happen would be onto them, like each other, like STDs or something like that if they weren't careful.
But they're aware of that.
But that's their own consequence. It's not a threat to the public safety. It's not anything like that, So, yeah, I can
just
see
like
that.
any type of workforce, if we're just talking workforces and we are legalizing that workforce, there is going to be misbehavior, there's going to be misuse, there's going to be misconduct, and like areas where it's not okay.
Right.
But if it's legalized, then that will probably decrease the likelihood of that stuff happening, opposed to it being an illegal practice, to where it's like I'm doing something illegal, I'm going to mistreat this person, and they can't say shit.
Right.
So if it's a legal practice, it might make it safer. It might actually make
I would agree with that
safer.
It eliminates a lot of the black market and a lot of the bullshit that can happen if you regulate it, right? And I can go into guns on that too, which I won't, but kind of the same thing. If you take things away, it's going to create for more problems.
Right. No, I mean, I agree with that. Obviously that can fall into a lot of categories as far as like legalizing weed in Texas. If you regulate it, it honestly could do a lot for the state. As far as like the taxes you get from it and what it can do.
Cash crop.
Yeah, so it's just like, I get where you're coming from.
Total cash crop. And now, Denver's kind of leading the charge on mushrooms, and I support the mushroom movement.
I saw that people.
Yep.
No, I have never done it. But I see on Facebook, I get on Facebook Marketplace when I'm bored. I'm just like, what do they got today? And so sometimes I see, I've been seeing a lot of mushroom stickers.
Okay.
And I'm like, what is that?
Mushroom stickers?
Yeah, they say mushroom stickers. And so I clicked on one of the ads, and it's I think what it is people are selling mushrooms, like actual mushrooms on Facebook Marketplace, but they disguise it as mushroom stickers, and then they put their prices underneath, and it's just stickers, but it's really it's really like mushrooms.
Interesting.
Oh, wow.
Psychedelic mushrooms.
That's actually
yeah.
pretty brilliant to find a loophole in the system. Not that I would say to support that, and Facebook's probably
Right,
going to
right.
get a hold of it.
I've
But
never ordered it, but I saw once I like looked up mushroom stickers. There's a lot of people doing it. And
Wow.
then a lot of them, like
Did you know
the ad photo will be stickers,
Uh-huh.
and then underneath it'll be the actual photos of the actual mushrooms.
If I
that you
did
grow.
a mushy sticker on FB, it would be called the Mush Rush.
That's a good
Mush
one.
Rush.
The
Mush Rush.
the Mush Rush, and
Wow.
it would be like a picture of like a mountain where the cap of the mountain was like the cap of the mushroom.
You've
And-
thought
and-
you've thought about this
and
already.
and the stem is the path leading to the top of the mountain.
Pisces.
It's called the Mush Rush.
I mean, that's kind of brilliant.
This was
I mean, come
an
on.
idea after a joint, huh? You're
Kind
like,
of brilliant.
I'm thinking
I can't.
about
I mean,
it.
that's,
come on
that's
now.
good marketing, especially. But yeah, Denver leading that
Absolutely.
charge. You know, with magic mushrooms. I don't know where you stand on it, but I dabble with it a little bit. I microdose.
Yeah, it's great.
I don't like the full send. Like when shit
Right.
starts moving, I get freaked out.
It gets weird.
You know,
Yeah.
I like just a little bit at a time,
Yeah,
and not
yeah.
all
Weird.
not all the time. Like when my fish tank starts breathing, I know it's too much. You know, pump the brakes a little bit. Let's let it down, and that's why I do smelling salts. And we're going to do a little bit live action for I think the third or fourth week in a row. Yep, smelling salts. Shout out to John out there in Kansas City, 4-time bodybuilding champ, UFC fighter, badass. Pretty cool stuff. So, smelling salts. You've never done it,
No, never have. No.
And so-
Absolutely.
Ruben took a fat sniff out of this.
He did.
Before the episodes, and honestly, Ruben, I give you props on that. Like how you went in full committed on that.
So the past few weeks. Oh yeah, the popper. I learned about poppers, which we can get into. That's more of a seduction discussion conversation.
seduction discussion.
That's actually pretty good. You should do another podcast, a little side one.
Yeah.
There were some rumblings of that for a bit, and we don't know if that's going to happen or not. But it'd be a seduction discussion conversation. So the past few weeks, I've taken the first rip. I think we're gonna
Bunch of
hand it
single
off
moms.
to the guest here. Good shake. I'm gonna let you go in. For
Yeah.
the first sniff.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
kind of reading the back here where it says something about cotton balls, but
There is cotton
So
balls
you
in
wet
there.
the cotton ball. You do it about 6 inches away from your
So
nose.
go in kind of conservatively. I
Yeah,
wouldn't just
give-
go in there and give it a rip.
give it some
Right.
space.
Kind of see what you're dealing with.
Oh yeah.
wow.
So that's what they do that before they lift, and apparently they do that before
What?
sex too. I'm learning,
Yeah.
but it's different.
That just like that was like really bright. Well, I think just like how potent the smell is, how strong
Yeah.
it is
What
what
would you
wakes
Your
describe
eyes are watering a little bit.
yeah.
What would you
does
describe the smell as?
Cleaning materials or something.
Okay.
We've had a few descriptions.
I actually
We've
just
had
wanna smell the
pool
lid.
chlorine. Somebody said dead animal.
Yeah.
I don't smell that. I
Yeah.
never smelled a dead animal like that.
I forget what the other description was, but that's usually it's ammonia. So like cat piss could be another one that's described as
Nail salon.
nail salon.
Yeah, I
Huh.
can see that.
Okay.
It definitely like it's like it burns like a little bit in your nose right here, but that's
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
the first sniff. You're like,
it
okay,
gets you a little
it's
bit.
like, well,
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
definitely
expect
gets
that.
It's fun though. Kind of wakes you up.
I'll give it a.
It
But
definitely
like you said,
wakes you up.
I don't know.
yeah.
I
It
don't,
might
I don't
be
know for
placebo.
how long though. For how long does it like?
It's almost like for me, like I feel just the same I did, like, but
Yeah,
at the
it could
same
be
time,
placebo,
how
I
quick
think.
it was. Like if I was
don't
about
know
to go
what that
do
was,
something.
though.
You want this?
Yeah.
See,
but
here's
I
the
don't know
thing,
what
though.
that was.
If I was on a hike, I would want that on a hike.
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
Like,
kind of bring you back.
Yeah.
Or like, give you a lift. So like people, my mom was telling me she had a time where she was in a hospital situation and passed out in a wheelchair or something, and they gave her that to bring her back.
Yeah.
Like from
Like
a passed
it
out
woke
state.
her up. Mm-hmm.
And so like it'll bring people back that pass out.
I
It
can see
wakes
that.
athletes
Yeah.
I can
up.
see that
yeah,
happen.
dude, you put that right next to your nose. You're like,
It's
Yeah.
gonna do something.
If there's any
Yeah.
life left in you, it's going to react.
well, you're gonna smell it
Yeah.
immediately.
Yes.
Golly, yeah,
It's gonna
it's
do
super
something.
strong.
Yeah,
No,
smelling
yeah.
salts. It's like
Honestly, I would want that on a hike. Like I like those like 7-hour hikes. Like whenever you're taking a break after 45 an hour, you're like, why did I decide to do this hike? Like that would be great to like.
you'd be like, all right, let's go.
All right, I know why I decided to do it. Let's go again.
Yeah,
This is ammonia.
it's ammonia
It's
gas.
the ammonia.
That's definitely because our buddy Clint, who always has something to say. He's kind of a behind the scenes, a little bit of a contributor to the show. He's like, man, just buy a bottle of ammonia and sniff that, because he.
I mean,
It-
not wrong.
I would say it's the
Kinda
first time I've
similar.
heard of it.
Some
like
bleach.
here, like this is the first time I've like heard of it. Like
I'm
being
still on
a
the.
hike.
Now you're gonna
I'm
see
still
it
on the
everywhere.
fence about
I
this stuff.
probably
Watch.
I don't know. I'm still kind of like on the fence about it. Like even though I sniff salts weekly right now,
Oh, you gotta
Even though I'm sniffing them on the weekly, I'm unsure about them. Like, I don't know how I feel about it.
It's definitely, you don't want to do it all day long, all day strong.
No.
It's
Oh,
not,
yeah,
just like
yeah.
anything in moderation kind of thing. You don't
Right.
want to, like, I don't know if you could get addicted to that,
Do it again.
but Ruben's over here full send ripping tater chipping on
Yeah,
the
like-
smelling salts, and they're strong.
Yeah.
That cough was very premature. I didn't get the whole thing.
He's going in for another sniff.
The slow sniff, the slow deep sniff seems to work well.
Yeah.
But one question that we ask every single guest that comes on the program, and we want to make sure to add, do you remember the question when you were in here last?
Actually, when we were driving here, I was like, what was that question? So I can prep myself.
Okay.
But, like, I forgot, so I didn't remember.
Even better,
Okay.
live
You-
action.
You run it, Kev.
All right, so the question is the famous Discussion Combustion podcast question. If you could offer one piece of advice that if everybody heard this tomorrow or today or whenever they listen, today, tonight, tomorrow, good morning, good afternoon, good night, people would be better off hearing this piece of advice, what would it be?
Oh, God, I don't know. I'm going to say something weird. If you like grapefruit, you're in a cult because grapefruit's so nasty. Like, so. But, sorry.
I never heard that one. That's a first.
I'm like, don't like grapefruit. It's gross.
You don't like
anyways.
grapefruit?
What?
I think I'm missing something.
No, I'm sorry.
So the piece of advice to
let
humanity.
me come up with something. Don't eat grapefruit.
Is don't eat grapefruit?
No, honestly,
it's good
I'll-
for you, but don't eat
I was
it.
on the fence for grapefruit for a long time, but you're
It's
clowning
delicious.
a little bit on that.
I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know what to say.
Do you not like grapefruit? Now I'm confused.
No, it's horrible.
But we
And
gotta
so
put
I
sugar
think
on
it's
it.
so horrible that people that like it are lying and they're all in a cult or something. 'Cause,
Really?
like, it's so bad.
It has to have sugar on it.
I didn't like it until I had COVID.
But
And
that's
then-
because you couldn't taste
no,
it.
but it's still.
What do you mean?
But I'm not eating the fruit. I'm like having the grapefruit drinks. But grapefruit is bitter.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
this-
It's so
like this
bitter. You're
That's why you need the sugar to even out the bitterness.
Huh.
And that's where I'm messing up. I was just like, it's so bitter that even sugar can't help this.
Mm.
But if I had to give a little advice, sugar helps a little bit in life with everything. so add a
so
little
be
sugar
sweet.
to everything.
Sweeten the
Be
deal.
sweet.
Be sweet to yourself.
I like that because we always say be good to yourself, be sweet to yourself.
I let it myself there. Be sweet to yourself.
That
like
was
that.
a good rebound. I like that.
That was pretty good.
I like that.
Yeah, because now I'm like on this whole grapefruit thing.
I
Now,
hate grapefruit, man.
I don't eat it very often, but when I do, it's usually sliced in half. Like I'm picturing how I've eaten it. It's sliced in half and there's sugar on it, and you kind of like, you cut out some slices and you eat it with a spoon
Right.
or whatever.
Yeah, no,
That's
there's
It was
like,
just like one of those
grapefruit
things when I.
spoon.
It was like
There
one of
is.
those things when I was losing weight. People were like, grapefruit's so good for you. I was like, oh, I guess I'll get some grapefruit. Like, I
was
got some
bitter.
grapefruit and I was like, this is horrible. This is absolutely trash. Like, why do people like this? Like, so yeah, I'm sorry.
So-
Obviously,
so
I'm a big grapefruit
When-
hater.
when I was an opiate addict, grapefruit actually helps stimulate the synapses when you take opiates to
Really?
get more high off of opiates.
But you
So,
think
so
that's-
like back in the day when I was doing opiates, I would like fucking chug grapefruit
Right.
and then take the pills.
You think it actually
because
did
it was
something
supposed to
else?
do more. It
Well,
was,
you-
Is
supposed
it
to
like
do
kind of
more.
the same thing if you were to do Molly or something like that and you drink orange juice?
Yeah,
like, you know.
yeah,
It's supposed to do
similar.
the same
Yeah,
thing?
it was
Yeah.
similar.
does it
Something
do
like
it though, or is it like what you said with
It's
the
a
smelling
placebo.
salt?
Like
It's
the
a
placebo.
Maybe it's a
yeah.
placebo. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was too high to tell the difference.
But you know what? Now that you say that though, because I remember hearing like a lot of, you know those pharmaceutical ads where they're like, "Don't take this if you do this." Don't.
Yeah.
I remember hearing like, "Don't drink grapefruit juice if you're on this supplement or this
Yeah.
this pharmaceutical or whatever." So maybe it does do something. I don't know.
It's pretty
We're on.
acidic,
We've opened
so
up a
my-
grapefruit rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, so
We
back
opened
where
up
I'm from,
a grapefruit crawfish hole.
Ooh, a grapefruit.
Absolutely.
Let's tie it back in.
now I'm just thinking of grapefruit flavored crawfish, and I'm sad.
Oh,
You don't think that would go good in the boil?
No,
Because I'm.
maybe.
'Cause a lot of
with
those
all them
guys-
Creole seasoning. Pineapple's really good in it. Pineapple.
That's the Asian Cajun.
Yeah, it is. It is like a
Because
Asian Cajun.
I follow these guys called Southern Boys Outdoors, which they're fantastic. They're out of somewhere in Louisiana.
Is it the Outdoor Boys?
Southern Boys Outdoors with
Yeah,
Kenyon.
it's like he wears glasses and he takes his son with him sometimes.
Oh no, not that guy. Not the guy that's like
Oh.
stick of butter. Is
Yeah,
that the
but
guy
he-
you're talking about?
Well, he does like the stuff in Alaska where he doesn't bring a tent and digs like a whole shelter or something. But
Oh, I got to get into that. I'm not sure what that is.
oh yeah, I'll be like 3 a.m. like
See,
3
that's-
bowls into my like bong, and I'm like, how's he gonna make this shelter?
you're like, I might need to know how to do this someday.
He's not gonna be warm. And like no one's awake, and I'm looking around like, Oh wait, yeah, it's just me.
It's those videos are fun though. You get lost, like you're kind of learning shit, but you don't know if it's actually education or if it's real or not. Like, have you ever heard that feller, Mr. Fu? I think his name is. He's the guy that like builds those epic underground, like in the sand termites.
Cool music,
epic music, and he
No
builds like these
commentary,
cool
just
shit.
music.
Yeah,
just
good
straight like
music.
footage of him getting at it.
Love
I'll get
that.
lost in that shit for hours. But yeah, Southern Boys Outdoors, they always do these crawfish boils, and he's like, you can either throw the lemons and oranges or squeeze them in. Mm-hmm. So like I see a lot of those in there. The garlic, of course. We talked
Super
about
good.
adding the mushrooms. Some people put olives in there. Your thoughts?
Olives, I haven't
know
heard
about
of that. I mean, I love olives in general. Curious to know how that would taste with Creole seafood like seasoning. I don't know how that would be.
Yeah, I'm on the fence.
Honestly, most things that go into the crawfish boil, I'm like, oh yeah, this is good, but I haven't heard olives, so
Yeah.
curious.
I mean, I'll say that the olives are probably good, and also another surprise ingredient that's good with most things, raisins.
Raisins.
You throw some raisins.
Get out of here!
throw some raisins.
You can stop talking.
No, it's a Venezuelan thing. It's from the Venezuelan stuff. I swear to God. I
Maybe
swear.
in a muffin
I swear on
or
this.
bread.
No.
I don't know about. So
Nah.
you're saying raisins in the crawfish boil?
You know, you put some raisins in some things, find out.
Okay.
You start putting some
I mean, I
raisins
like
in things,
I
and
like
find out.
raisins.
I mean, maybe like a peanut butter jelly
Yeah.
sandwich, peanut butter raisin jelly sandwich. I don't know.
See,
Peanut butter raisin
you
jelly
creative.
sandwich?
No.
The only
You
kind
know-
of raisins I like is raisin canes.
He's giving it a hard no. Now,
Raisins. Ew, gross.
all right, let me ask you guys one more like gross
Okay.
food question
All right,
here.
what is it?
My good buddy Dale Earnhardt Jr. out of North Carolina loves. Okay, you ready for this?
Ready.
A banana and mayonnaise sandwich. Have you heard of it?
Truck driver.
I haven't tried
Is he a
that.
truck driver?
No, he's a NASCAR driver.
No, he's a driver.
What former NASCAR
I mean,
driver?
I haven't tried that.
So
I'm like,
North
I'm
Carolina,
Banana
on
mayonnaise.
banana and mayonnaise on white bread.
Hellman's?
Hellman's mayonnaise, not the Miracle Whip. Get that shit
Miracle
out of
Whip or
here.
Hellman's?
It's got to be Hellman's. It's got to be Hellman's. I haven't tasted it, but I want to taste it. These North Carolina NASCAR folks are telling me I got to try it.
Okay,
we
so
gotta try
I have on it. Is the bread toasted? Like what?
That's a good
You
question.
can do it. You can do it however is most palatable.
Okay, so like I used to eat mayonnaise sandwiches growing up.
Just
like,
mayonnaise on white bread?
Like yeah, my friends make fun of me, but yeah, it's just like
Oh,
so.
she's
I mean,
with
I was
it.
a little poor growing up, single wide trailer, 3 sisters, like.
Oh, yeah.
And so we would take like a single piece of like white bread and layer mayonnaise on it, and then fold it over. That shit was pretty good.
It's not bad, huh?
It actually was good. A mayonnaise sandwich. It sounds so gross.
Wonder
bro.
bread
Like
had to be the Wonder or like the-
Sunbeam.
oh, Sunbeam.
Sunbeam.
White bread though, not the fake wheat.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you think? Throwing some banana on that? What do you think? That palate might work.
I think it
I
could work.
don't think so.
I gotta try it. I gotta try it.
If it's a thing, it probably works.
Yeah.
probably works.
Some people say it's
Yeah.
horrible. Those North Carolina boys are like, you got to try this.
I honestly say this is the first time I've heard this, and I'm gonna Google this as soon as I get in my car.
And you're,
Because like this is the
and you're gonna
craziest
see
thing
Dale
ever.
Earnhardt Jr.'s name all over it. I guarantee it.
Yeah, no. Well, also I'm gonna send it to all my friends that make fun of me because I ate mayonnaise sandwiches and be like, ha 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 ha. Other people do too.
And put bananas on it. Nanners.
And they put nanners on it, which is a little weirder.
The
But
raisins are so weird. I have to say it.
He's 86 in the
Yeah.
raisins.
I mean, you know.
86 raisins.
Crawfish?
I mean, look until you try it, until you have that boiled down raisin flavor.
You tried it.
And
You
I haven't tried it.
I don't know how much.
I have not
Are the
tried
raisins?
it.
I don't think the raisins are gonna
Yeah,
add.
I
The,
haven't
the
tried
raisins are good when they're mixed in with
All-
other things.
all you're gonna do
Yeah.
is rehydrate the raisin, and it's gonna look like a saggy grape.
Well, I feel like you could put a grape
I mean,
into
you know-
the boil and it would come out a raisin.
Would it though? Because isn't a
Well, I guess
grape
it's more
dehydrated
yeah.
raisin? I mean, a dehydrated grape.
What is a raisin?
It's a dehydrated grape.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Is it not?
Yeah, that's what it is.
You know what it is, you Pisces.
But what is the meaning behind a raisin?
To be elusive.
You know.
Are you just like no anti-raisin all the way? No raisins.
No, I used to love raisins when I was a kid.
Prune juice.
Ants
my
on a log.
shit.
You ever had ants on a log?
What the fuck is that going into the
Ants on a log is good.
You've had that?
crawfish bowl?
Ants on a log are like that's like classic.
That's
like
just
old-
peanut butter, celery, and
yeah,
raisins.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just read right into the raisins.
That's okay.
Hey,
okay.
that's okay. Look,
We raised the
we all
raisins.
we all like things, we all don't like things, and that's all right. But I did like your advice to humanity. Fuck grapefruit and
just be sweet to
and
yourself.
and be
Don't
sweet
put-
to yourself.
Yeah,
yes.
don't put sugar on the grapefruit. Put it on yourself. That was so dumb.
Yeah. No, but it is like, look, these little simple cliches, be sweet to yourself. There's probably some people out there today that are truly beating themselves down over things that they
Right.
don't deserve to beat themselves up over.
Absolutely.
And allow yourself to live. So I think that's great advice to humanity. You're a great conversationalist. So much fun to have on the podcast.
Thanks.
Where can everybody check out what you do, maybe your art, or follow what you do? Where can they find you?
I'll start posting more on my new Instagram. The other one got hacked, but I would say just my Instagram. I do Facebook, mostly family and friends, and so.
That makes sense.
I'll start doing my art more that I've been picking up on it. So.
Well, we're gonna share your IG handle. It's like Savannah Wall 11. Was that it?
It's like Savannah.Galloway11.
Galloway
so,
11. Okay.
Yeah.
That was a pretty
It
good
says like
attempt.
if you click on it, it says if you're looking for someone, it's not me, but it is me. That's what it says under my.
That's how you know. That's how you know.
We're gonna leave that below.
Yep.
So much fun. I had a blast on this episode.
Absolutely.
Is there any other call outs, anything that you want to make sure that you get out?
No, other than I hope everyone's having a great holiday.
Yeah.
I can't wait for spring.
I'm ready.
Yes.
I'm tired of this weather.
Yes.
I'm ready for the warm weather. I'm going to talk about it on Happy Friday tomorrow. Let's go warm weather. Let's go
absolutely.
springtime.
This 60 degrees tease.
Isn't it great?
Fun. It's
Windy
just
as a son
little
of a bitch,
tease.
though.
I'm like,
That's typical Colorado.
then it gets cold again.
Yeah, that's Colorado. We're going to get warm. We're going to get snow. We're going to see all this shit in
Right.
March, April. We're going to get those blizzards. We're not out of the woods just yet.
Not yet.
But daylight savings time's coming. We're going to get lighter later. We're going to get warmer. It's gonna
So
be-
excited for that.
So, do you have a catchphrase?
No, I don't have a catchphrase. Do y'all have a catchphrase?
Yeah,
Yes.
we do.
Yes. What would your catchphrase be if today? What's your catchphrase today?
Oh God, I don't know. I was playing Mario earlier. Let's go.
Okay, I like that.
I was
That's a good
playing
one.
my Nintendo earlier. So
Which Mario?
But I just stole
there's
that.
like 1,000 Mario games.
Oh, just like the old. It was actually just the old school one, like on the old school, very old school arcade.
Okay,
one.
I
But
like
yeah.
that.
Like the
I
Super
play
Nintendo?
Legend of Zelda
like-
really most of the time, but
Okay.
he doesn't.
Breath
talk.
of the Wild?
He doesn't talk though, so he just makes grunts and stuff. Yeah.
Link.
He does.
Link's a solid lad.
He does.
Yeah.
Well, let's go. Believe and achieve,
Let her rip, tater chip.
and be good to yourselves. You know you deserve it.
Be sweet to yourselves. You know you deserve it.
Sweet.
We're out of here.